Could you call the roll, please?
Good morning, everyone. It is now 11:02 a.m. Calling the roll for the Monday, April 15th Board of Control meeting. We have Nan Baker.
Here.
Dale Miller.
Here.
Trevor Macular serving as an alternate for Dan Brady. Here. Okay. Mike Chambers serving as an alternate for Mike Dever. Here. Matt Carroll serving as an alternate for Armin Budish.
Here.
Angie Rich serving as an alternate for Dennis Kennedy. Here. Lenora Lockett. Here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. We have minutes from the last meeting. I'd like to take a look at the minutes. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. If there are no corrections, is there a motion to approve? And I will second. No further discussion. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay. Is there any public comment today, Andrea?
Time.
All right. No public comments.
And no tabled items.
And no tabled items. So we're ready to move on to new items.
The first new item is a two-part item. Item number BC 2019-293, Department of Public Works. A, submitting an RFP exemption on requisition 44579, which will result in award recommendations to various providers as listed in the item detail, and the total amount not to exceed $443,300 for routine building and supply purchases. And it's for the period January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019. And B, recommending the awards in connection with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Tom Pavich, Department of Public Works. This first item, we're requesting an exemption for award recommendations to various providers. There's actually 75 different vendors. This is identical to what we came to the board twice before. March 11th, we had an item approved just like this. We did the same process. That was for our Road and Bridge Department. March 18th was for our Facilities Division. This particular item is for our Sanitary Division. The intent is to work with the Fiscal Office to set up individual encumbrances for routine purchases that we'd anticipate exceeding $1,000 in the calendar year per the audit. This particular one, again, it's 75 different vendors. It's as needed. That's the intent of this item. So,
any questions? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Motion and second. All those in favor of approving the item, please say aye. 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 Any opposed? Thank you.
thank you.
Next item, BC 2019-294, Fiscal Office, submitting an amendment to a contract with Manatron, Inc. for support and maintenance services for the Manatron Visual Property Tax System. And it's for the period January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019, to expand the scope of services to include reformatting of the refund file to support testing for the Enterprise Resource Planning System. And it's effective on April 15th, 2019, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $3,200.
Good morning, Michael Zappola, Fiscal Office. Manatron is our current real estate property system. We needed to produce a file that can be tested under the new ERP system, so that's what this amendment is for.
Any questions? Councilwoman?
So was this test anticipated? I know they're doing testing all the time on the ERP system.
This one was not because of the timing of the Harris project and the ERP contract. The timing got a little bit off from the original estimation. So this particular file was not anticipated in the original.
Just to follow, is this a new,
The legacy system,
yeah, the legacy system.
would feed into the legacy ERP system,
right,
or to do the refunds.
That was not anticipated to be done?
That's what's happening today. This would be from the legacy system to the new ERP system. That would be what the program is for.
Are there any others that you anticipate will be like this?
None that are identified at this time.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve this item. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the item, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Excellent.
Next item is a two-part item. Item BC 2019-295, Department of Health and Human Services on behalf of the Department of Development. A, submitting an RFP exemption on requisition 45223, which will result in a payment to Cleveland Society for Human Resource Management in the amount of $1,500 for rental of an exhibitor booth for the 2019 Talent Acquisition Spring Conference being held on May 10th of this year at the La Center Conference and Banquet Facility facility located at 25777 Detroit Road in Westlake, Ohio. And B, recommending the payment in connection with said RP exemption.
Morning, Greg Huth with the Development Department. This is the spring conference of the Cleveland Society for Human Resources Management. We'd like to get this payment approved so that we can send a couple of folks from our SkillUp team there. It's been a great networking resource for SkillUp and making these folks aware of the services that we provide. So in addition to the booth space and so forth, we're going to get to send 2 people. We'll be sending David and one other person from our staff. We also get some promotional advertising through their website throughout the year. So we'd like to ask that this be approved.
Any questions? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve this item. Is there a second? Motion and second. All those in favor of approving the item, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Next item, BC 2019-296, Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Reentry, recommending to accept donations from various organizations in the total amount of $2,500 to cover keynote speaker fees for the How to Start a Business as a Restored Citizen event being held on April 25th of this year at the Martin Luther King Jr. branch of the Cleveland Public Library, located at 1962 Stokes Boulevard in Cleveland, in connection with the Cuyahoga County Office of Reentry Awareness Week. The following donations are from A, Dominion Energy Charitable Foundation, and it's in the amount of $1,500. B, Core City Services and Outreach Jumpstart, Inc., in the amount of $500. And C, Jewish Federation of Cleveland, in the amount of $500.
Good morning, Crystal Bryan, Director for the Cuyahoga County Office of Reentry. In 2017, Council and Executive Budish issued a proclamation for our office, making the 4th week of April the Cuyahoga County Reentry Awareness Week. In 2018 was our inaugural kickoff year, where we make an effort to host at least 5 events throughout that week, each day, Monday through Friday of the business week. There are no discretionary dollars associated with this week, and so now that we are into 2019, it allows us to build awareness, make a call to action, and also celebrate the success of returnees. This year, we're hosting 5 different events for this particular week, and one of them is the Small Business Workshop for Restored Citizens. We like to bring in a keynote speaker because there are no discretionary dollars attached. The office had to do a little bit of fundraising from our partners, and so now we are requesting to be able to receive those donations to have the keynote speaker come in and speak. He is a returned citizen who has been pardoned by the governor in his state. He owns a $2 million construction company, so he knows all about starting and sustaining small businesses for success for those with backgrounds.
Any questions? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve this item. Is there a second? There's a motion and second. All those in favor of approving the item, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Crystal.
Item BC 2019-297, Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Children and Family Services, recommending an award on requisition 44828 and enter into a contract with Janus Hotels and Resorts, Inc., doing business as Holiday Inn Cleveland South in Independence, in the amount not to exceed $8,550 for catering, photo booth, DJ, and related services in connection with the Substitute Caregiver Dinner located at 6001 Rockside Road in Independence, for the period June 7th, 2019 through June 8th, 2019.
Good morning, Bob Math with the Department of Health and Human Services on behalf of Children and Family Services. Each year, DCFS hosts a caregiver's dinner. It's really an appreciation night for the foster parents as well as kinship care providers, and it's an evening where they serve dinner, have some dancing, have a photo booth, take some pictures, and I think it's a very nice appreciation event. And each year, DCFS hosts this event. We did an informal bid, and we received two responses, and we took the lowest bid.
Any questions? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve this item. Is there a second? Motion and second. All those in favor of the item, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Next item, BC 2019-298, Department of Human Resources, submitting an amendment to a contract with Imix Technology, Inc. for technical support and software maintenance of Kronos time clocks for the period February 1st, 2015 through March 29th, 2019, to extend the time period to March 29th, 2020, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $18,154.11.
Good morning, Pat Smock on behalf of the Department of Human Resources. This amendment is to extend the technical support agreement with the vendor that provides service to the county's Chronos time clocks. They're used in the Department of Public Works, the Sheriff's Department, and Public Safety CCOMs, and we appreciate the board's consideration of this request.
Is there a question? Councilman.
Does our use of time clocks change at all under the ERP?
Councilman, there will be new time clocks that are affiliated with ERP that will be switching out the old ones with. They're the recommended vendor time clocks. The usage of them will not change. However, in the ERP, one of the features that we do not currently have is currently an employee swipes the time clock and has no record of that swipe. Payroll sees it, the employee does not. With the new ERP system, they can go to a computer and they can look up their swipes for the week and see that their swipes are maintained for the week and how accurate they are, as can their supervisor.
Will there be any change up or down in what our costs are for time clocks?
The time clocks that we're gaining with the ERP or installing with the ERP are part of the ERP package. They're included in the ERP budget. I don't know what the maintenance costs will be moving forward. However, I could look into that for you, sir.
So is this an item that's going to go away once the ERP is in place?
This particular item will go away. This vendor will not provide service to the ERP time clocks. Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve this item. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor of the item, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, Pat.
Next item is a two-part item, BC 2019-299, Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, A, submitting an RP exemption on requisition 45095, which will result in an award recommendation to International Preparedness Associates, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $30,424 for specialized SWAT Marine training for the period June 3rd, 2019 through July 31st, 2019, and B, recommending the award in connection with said RP exemption.
Hi, Laura Sims with the Sheriff's Department. This specialized training for the SWAT team. Our SWAT team is the only one in Northeastern Ohio that has the specialized training to handle CBRN events or special problems in a marine setting. So we need to keep them up to date with their training to be able to do that. We got grant funds to be able to do this training, so 100% of the training will be provided by the grant funds. It's a bit confusing because we put the training out for a formal bid last year, and we only received one bid, which is not really a surprise because this is very specialized training. So unfortunately, the federal grant requires that, like if we just went with our own competitive procedures, we would have just went with the vendor who bid, and we would have been able to go with that. Unfortunately, federal government for grants requires that you have two bids. And so we had to go to the federal grant agency and request an exemption from them to use the one bid that we got because we didn't think we were going to be able to get an additional bidder on that. They approved that exemption so that we could use this particular bidder. In the meantime, it's been more than 90 days since that original grant, since we put that original procurement out, so we had to put in another requisition for 19. And in the meantime, the grant expired. We had to get an extension on the grant because, unfortunately, most of this happened because with the federal government budget issues, they went down to skeleton staffs, so things were taking forever. And this just kind of snowballed, so this is why it's kind of taken so much time to get to where we are now. So we do have the exemption from FEMA, and now we need to get the exemption approved and the award with you. I'm sorry, I know it's complicated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, any questions on this? Councilman, sure.
From the dates, this is a 2-month?
No, it's actually going to be a 2-week training. So 1 week they're going to train half the team, and the other week they're going to train the other half of the team. We extended it like that because at the time we put it out for, we hadn't actually determined the dates of the training yet, and so that gave them like a 2-month window to do it within that time period.
Any other questions? Thank you. And motion and second to approve. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Next item, BC 2019-300, Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Children and Family Services, submitting an amendment to a master contract with various providers for out-of-home placement and foster care services for the period January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2019, by adding various providers effective January 1st, 2019. No additional funds required for the following providers: Piney Ridge Treatment Center, LLC, George Junior Republic in Pennsylvania, and LifeStart, Inc.
Good morning, Bob Math again on behalf of Children and Family Services. These are just 3 providers we're adding to our master list. These are children that we took custody of sometime during the course of the year and placement at different facilities. So we're just adding these to our master list.
Just curious, Bob, does the having them on the list make it easier? Because if you have an expenditure to one of them, you still have to come back and get approval, right?
No, once you're on the list.
Once you're on the list, you could just spend.
We can
So that's
spend.
the
That's why
point.
we didn't add additional dollars. It's a master contract.
You're anticipating you may use them, I guess.
Right now, there's children placed there. We did a mission critical some time ago, so children are already there. So now we're putting them on the master list because we've used the funds for mission critical.
Other purposes.
Now we can
Okay.
continue to use them.
Got it. Any other questions? Hearing none, motion, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're on to the consent agenda. We have a few items.
We have item numbers BC 2019-301 through 306.
Any questions on the consent agenda? If they're hearing none, I think we are ready to, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda if everyone's ready. Is there a second? There's a motion and second. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda items, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. All right. For other business, I believe we have a mission critical item. Andrea, is that right?
Yes, we have a mission critical item from the Department of Public Works. It's recommending an award to Precision Compaction on requisition 45510 in the amount not to exceed $5,131.06, and it's for compactor and dumper maintenance and repair services. The funding source is the Internal Service Fund / General Fund.
Good morning, Tom Pavich, Department of Public Works. This item looking for approval for mission critical that we authorized. The dollar amount's $5,131.06. The vendor's Precision Compaction. We had to do compactor and dumper, like dumpster work. We needed work that we had to complete at some of our locations. We wanted to get that work done before the actual machines broke further. So we authorized the repair at some of these locations. You know, the oil change, we had a roller equipment, the plates, some of the plates are getting rotted out. You know, these dumpers or dumpsters only last so long, so we had to authorize this. So we're just requesting approval of this.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add this item. Do I have a second?
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor of approving the amendment to add this item to the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Any questions about the item? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second? There's a motion and second to approve the item. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Last chance, public comment?
No
Anyone?
public comment at this
No?
time.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And none opposed. Thank you.